All right, guys, today is Tuesday, October 6th. Make sure that you take your attendance quiz, open your notebook. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday in notes from in class. Now, before we do that, I want to go ahead and go over yesterday's check for understanding. The first one was come up with the equation in point slope form. That equation would end up being y minus there's my x1, there's my y1. My y1 is -6, so in my equation it's going to be +6 equals my m of 1/3. And then x minus my x1, which is because my coordinate is positive, and my equation is going to be negative. So that's what your equation should have looked like. On this second one here, you need to come up with the slope no matter which form you used. There's a point there, and here is another good point here, okay? That means my slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 1. Let's check to make sure we did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 1, and I hit another coordinate. So that means my slope is 5 over 1, giving me a slope of +5. Okay, if I was writing this in slope-intercept form, I could go ahead and just use my y-intercept of 0, -3, and write my equation as y equals 5x minus 3, then that would be my equation. If I wanted to do it in point slope, I could use any coordinate. I'll use this one here, 1, 2. Y minus 2 equals 5x minus 1. Okay, just have to make sure that that coordinate was on your graph. All right, let's go ahead. We did this one in class yesterday. We're on to this one here. A line passes through the points -2, 5, and 3, -15. Write an equation. Okay, so it doesn't specify the equation, but I see I have 2 points, so that tells me automatically I can get a slope. Neither one of them is the y-intercept, so I can just write my equation in point slope and be fine. So point slope is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Label my coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2. I do that because I need to get my slope. Okay, my y2 is -15, my y1 is 5. My x2 is 3, my x1 is -2. Go ahead and figure this out. -15 minus 5 is -20. 3 minus -2 gives me +5. -20 over 5 is not -5, but -4. Okay, so that right there is my slope. I can write my equation. I can use either coordinate. I'll use the one that I labeled as x1, y1. So I have y minus 5 equals -4, x plus 2. You could have also done y plus 15 equals -4, x minus 3 as a second answer. Either one of those would be counted as correct. All right, so the other option that we can sometimes have is we're given a table and told to write our equation given a table. All right, it doesn't specify which form we have to use again, so I can use point slope or slope intercept. No matter what, whichever one I pick, I still need to find my slope, so I'm going to do that first. So here, my rise, I am adding 2. Here, I'm adding 1. Here, I'm adding 2. Here, I added 4. Here, I added 2. Here I added 4. So 2 over 4 is equal to 1 over half. And that means that is my m. Now, if I look at my coordinates, if I wanted to write it in slope-intercept, that would be pretty easy because I do have my y-intercept right here. So my equation would be y equals 1/2 x plus 3. If they told me to get my slope-intercept, bam, I would be done. That's my answer. If they just told me to write an equation and didn't give me answer choices, still I would be done and I can just move on. But if they told me to write it in point slope, I would have to pick one of those coordinates and put it into my formula. My slope is 1/2. I'm going to use -2, 2. Okay? My x is negative, so I'm going to make it a positive in my equation. My y is positive, so I'm going to make it a negative here in my equation. And then write everything else that I need. And that's my answer. Okay? You could have used -6, 0, 0, 3, 4, 5 in point slope. It didn't matter which of the four, as long as you put everything in correctly. All right. Now, next thing that we need to do is work on changing forms from one form to another. Okay? If I'm in point slope, which you can see, this equation here is in point slope right now, I can convert this equation to slope-intercept by doing what we have done in the past and solving for y. Okay? That's all you got to do is solve for y. Your goal is to get y alone. Okay? But you also need to get rid of these parentheses because we're trying to get it in slope-intercept. Slope-intercept does not have parentheses. So the way I do that is I go ahead and distribute the 6, and I get y minus 7 equals 6x plus 12. Then I'm still trying to get y alone. Now that I don't have parentheses on the right side, I'm going to go ahead and take care of moving the 7 by adding 7 to both sides. Okay? On the left-hand side, I still have y, but those 7's canceled. That positive 7 gets added to 12, not to the 6x. 12 plus 7 is 19, and this would be my equation going from point slope to slope intercept. Okay? All right, we're going to continue this in part 2 of this video.